Hey, what's up, everyone? Bear with me while I get everything up and running. Welcome to the Monday night live stream. I almost said Friday for a second there. Let me get up my other chat. Turn that down. Turn that down right now. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Had a good week. I know that I haven't posted. Just been a busy week. Went camping, did a bunch of stuff with the kids, and yeah, just trying to get ready. I actually ended up canceling my fight for April just because I took a bunch of time off, and then now I'm just kind of getting back into things. And I got 4 weeks out. I think the 12th is the next one. May 12th is the next fight. So I'll give you guys some info on that as we get closer. But let me get in here. What was I doing? Get my other chat up. Maybe. So you guys can go ahead and start putting your questions in. I got some announcements, and yeah, be ready to go. Let me start this. Turn that down. Pop out the chat, and we're good. All right, cool. So if you guys are wondering why I do that, the YouTube chat actually comes through faster or sooner than the StreamYard, so I'm able to address some of the questions later on. Like if I'm answering your question, it's been like 15 minutes, you can put an answer in immediately, and you don't have to wait another 15 minutes for a response. It will pop up on the other chat. So that's why I do that. You guys are asking. All right, yeah. So Discord. Come on over to the Discord channel. The link is in the last video. There's a bunch of people over there. Good time. If you have a sense of humor, come over. If you don't, probably not a good idea. But yeah. What's up, guys? Let me go ahead and clear this real quick. All right, so that should be good. All right, cool. All right, so let me go ahead and get started here. Announcement-wise, yep, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, I am doing a 3D printed sale. If you guys have something already ordered, and it hasn't shipped yet, but it said it was printed, I have about 35 to 40 orders sitting on the floor right now, going out this evening and tomorrow morning. So if you already have something and it says it's been printed and it hasn't shipped yet, that's why. Okay, so was waiting on boxes, was waiting on USPS envelopes, been waiting on filament. The times are changing. I tell you right now, it's a little bit of a pain to get things, but it's moving. So yeah, so for the month of April, we're doing buy any 3 3D printed items and you'll get one for free. So if you add 4 to the cart, one of those will be for free. And you can use the code. It should automatically do it, but you can use the code B3G1F if you want to do that. So that's about it for announcements. Other than that, besides the fight coming up, the 300 is doing pretty well. I did mention in my last video that I did have a mini cycle when it came to putting that rock in there. Nothing too crazy. I do have the next video coming out that's going to be it's going to have adding the frags to the tank, and then we're going to do a 1 month update at the same time. I figured I'd go ahead and just show you what they looked like before, and then 1 month later with them encrusting and the coloration changes and just some things that I've changed in the tank. Other than that, everything is doing pretty good. I did take the opportunity to clean out the tub in the 125 gallon tub. If you guys saw in the videos, it seemed like there was some algae on the side of the tank there, and there was not a crazy amount, but it just wasn't white like the tub should be. So I went in there and spent like a half a day scraping that stuff out. Did pretty good. Filled up a couple filter socks, and yeah, so the tank is just kind of adjusting now. I have gotten a couple emails and some requests to do a video on some of the changes that are happening in our industry with shipping animals and shipping corals and all sorts of stuff. I believe it's the Lacey Act. I want to say that's what it's called. So I've been looking into it a little bit here. I will do a video on it this week. I'm going to try to get that out. Either I'll try to get the voiceover done tomorrow, or do a little bit later after the kids go to bed on Wednesday or Thursday. But so yeah, so if this goes through, this change, basically I'm not going to be able to sell coral outside of the state of Pennsylvania, to pretty much sum it up. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what it is, what's going on, kind of what you can do about it, how you can participate in trying to get it so it doesn't, happen. And yeah. Like I try not to think about it too much, because I know everything in life, happens for a reason. And it just kind of makes me wonder why all of a sudden 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, actually, that the 3D printing just started with a keychain. Now it's 22 printers. Now it's my main source of income. It's just kind of weird how it all happened as this is starting to happen to the coral industry. And man, I'm thankful on my end, but it's still going to be a huge hit to the business. At least 40% of my income will be gone essentially, which sucks. When you got mouths to feed, right? So yeah, so expect the 3D printing to be off the charts and to be pushing that pretty hard because that's what it is, right? So, anyways, I think that's enough. That's 5 minutes of talking about intro stuff. So let's go to move on here. I'm not sure if you've done 3D printing my order, but I'm not in a big rush. I have to look and see. Do you have a number for me, man? Let me see where it's at in the process here. I'll just search. If this is the name on the order, just let me look real quick. I'll let you know where it's at. John, what? Let me see. So many Johns, man. I think it's probably one of the most popular names, right? Let's see here. Click, click, click. It looks like 65, 36. No, that is done. That one's done. It's in the pile, man. That one's done. So that will ship tonight, tomorrow. Yep, that one's been done. Travis, will you meet up with people that are local to you instead of shipping out and save money on shipping? Yep. If you're local and you want something like Coralwise or even 3D printing, email me. You can either email me or you can hit me up on the website. The website's probably the best because I get more notifications through the website. So if you go into our chat system there, you can be like, hey, talk to a human after Osimo talks to you for a little bit. And yeah, I do local pickup. And what happens is just tell me what you want, and then I'll send you an invoice without shipping. So then you don't have to worry about it. So, yeah. What forums you into on 3D printing at the moment? I'm not in any forums, not a single forum. Matter of fact, am I even on Reef to Reef? I might be. I don't know. No, I'm not in any forums, man. I just solo this stuff, man. I'm what you call an introvert, man. I just kind of lay low and stay to myself, which is kind of weird being on YouTube. But yeah, it's kind of my thing. If you have anything that you recommended, feel free to throw it up on the Discord or something. I'll check it out. Brandon is pretty. Yeah. Somebody ordered one of those new Dick keychains, and somebody ordered like 5 with Brandons. I'm like, man, how many Brandons do you know, bro? I was just laughing the whole time it was printing. I'm like, geez, man. So hey, I appreciate you guys having a sense of humor. And somebody emailed me, goes, why do you have so many dicks on your website? I'm like, the real question is why not? Dicks are funny. If you don't think dicks are funny, then we're probably not going to be friends. Sorry. And you're too serious because dicks are hilarious. The smaller they are, the funnier they are. So yeah. Anyways, what upgrades did you do on your Ender 3? I'm thinking about getting one because I startup price is pretty low. Well, I can go through the whole list. Let's just say it started off as an Ender 3 and it's a $1,100 printer now. So that's the upgrades that I've done. It's not even, basically at the moment, it's just the frame of the Ender 3. Everything else is pretty much gone. The frame and the LCD. So it's these printers for them to work, for them to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and to be accurate and, print quality to be pretty decent with minimal effort on my end. They need to be fully automated. So it's about $1,100 worth of money. And given the way everything is, it's probably going to cost more now. Just don't even get me started. I went grocery shopping today. I was like, man, are you kidding me right now? The spinach went up again. Yeah. How can I become a member? You talking about for the Discord or for the channel? Because if you want the channel, you just go to the main page on YouTube and then you can click join. And then it's like $1. I think it's $1 a month, and you get like emojis and stuff like that. If that's what you mean. If you're talking about the Discord, you just click the link in my last video, and you can go in and talk to everybody and hang out and post your memes and whatever. Man, it's pretty cool. I try to get in there every day. Hey Travis, I recently had an issue with a few of my acro tips dying. Just the tip. Haha. See, there we go, right there. I knew we would be friends, Mark. I think it's because my phosphates were a bit low, 0.01. Yeah, it's pretty low. Have you ever experienced this? Yeah. When nutrients get low, nitrates and phosphates, they get too low, and in your LED, I'm assuming you have LEDs, but if your lighting is, pretty intense, I know in my tank, I run it pretty high just for the sake of growing a little bit quicker. And now I do sacrifice a little bit of color because of that. But either way, if your nutrients start bottoming out, or they're pretty low. Not only can you get dino, which is pretty devastating to the tank, but the zooxanthellae, because there's not a lot of nutrients, they aren't there. Like the coral just kind of gets rid of the zooxanthellae because there's no nutrients to kind of survive. And at that point, you start getting that bleaching, that dying off, that pigment, fading on the coral. So the best thing to do is, of course, not try to jump up numbers relatively quickly, but over time, within a week's time, trying to get the numbers back to normal. Now, instinctively, we tend to. I know for me personally, if I find that I'm at zero phosphates, I'm like, well, let me just start pouring them in and we'll figure it out. That's the last thing you want to do, mainly because consumption of alkalinity and calcium and in a very low nutrient environment can be, it can be pretty low because you're not growing a lot because there's not a lot of nutrients. It's just zooxanthellae aren't really active. But if you dump it in a bunch of nitrates and phosphates, you might get a big spike in growth that kind of just happens overnight, which isn't bad, but then you start getting huge dips in alkalinity, in turn causing more stress to the coral. So just keep that in mind. Now, I know that's a long answer, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty common. It's extremely common. And if you have a ton of flow too, that adds a little bit of little extra stress. And yeah, so that's why our goal is to test often and be consistent with it and then kind of go from there. But, easier said than done, right? So what's up, Caleb? What's up, my dude? Oh, speaking of Caleb, somebody asked, because he put an order in with a discount code from a while ago. Somebody asked if I'm still doing the $100 off for your skimmer cup, like if it's not on the website. I'm currently not doing that right now just because I have this April sale going on. And I don't want to get too many cups coming in, which I don't mind, like skimmer lids and stuff like that. I don't mind. I just don't want too many of them because I gotta, I only have 22 printers, so I gotta be careful on what I extend my work out to be. So, so if you want a lid done for your skimmer and it's not on the website, just order the custom one based on the size. You can either wait for me to send you an email with the address, or you can contact me on the website and I'll send the address over for you to ship that. It's pretty simple, and it comes in. I take care of it, ship it out. It's pretty simple process. So, yeah, his name reminded me of that. What's up, Caleb? What's up, dude? How's the 300 going? But a couple weeks, I think, since the update. Yeah, it's a month old now. I think it's the 6th. I think was a month old for the 300. Technically, yeah, well, a month old, like 5 years in 1 month. But it's doing pretty good. You probably missed the beginning of the stream, but I went through and cleaned out the tub. The next video that's coming out, which I'm going to work on tonight after the stream and do my voiceover with, is I'm going to show you guys me putting the corals in the tank, and then I'll give you guys, it'll still be voiceover, but I'll give you guys a look at the tank a month later. So the corals are encrusting, the coloration's pretty decent. It does suck to see little baby frags on the tank, but the aggression is good. There's no issues with the fox face, thankfully. Big Bertha is doing pretty good. And then I'm just kind of cleaning up the tank, getting rid of some excess algae in the tubs, and just kind of making things a little bit normal. Now, I will be, listen, I don't know if I'm probably going to do this. Yeah. So, because I need the printer room. So what I'm probably going to do is sell off those two 50-gallon low boys, just because right now there's nothing in them. I mean, I have that big coral in there, which if, by the way, I'm going to say this too. If anybody's interested in a piece of that, because I get countless emails about that thing, please email me and we can work something out possibly. Because once I get rid of those two tanks, I'm not going to have a place for that Lobo. So I'm considering kind of fragging it out, because there's like 7 or 8 different sections of it, and then just putting a frag in the 300 and kind of starting over with the growth. Because right now it's 5 years old. It's a massive coral. Like it takes up 1/3 of a low boy. For it to be in a system of mine, it will have to have its own tank. It have to be a tank that's 2 foot wide. So it's a massive coral. So if you're interested in a frag of this Lobo that's in the middle of the 300, email me and title it like Lobo, and we can work something out. And we'll see what I want to do with that. So we'll see how many people are interested and go from there. But the only reason why I'm saying that is because I have to, because if I get rid of those low boys, I'm not going to have a place to put that coral. It's so big, it doesn't even fit in the 300, right? Which is pretty crazy. But yeah, so I'm going to get rid of the low boys and most likely put printers there, put another rack of printers. I think I could fit 12 to 16 on that wall. So, which will be nice for the sake of keep printing, right? Have you ever put encrusted corals on the back glass? Was thinking about leptospirosis, whatever you say, leptos, and would look cool. Yeah, I've done it before. And one thing about this green Stylophora that I have is it actually has babies that start, I guess you can call them babies, but they've been growing over the back wall of the 300 for a while. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, you can, I would say wait until there's coralline algae, and then because you need something to grip onto. So take a piece of that coral, put some glue on it, and put it against some coralline algae, just because it will give you a rougher surface for the glue to attach to, and then it will grow from there. So try that, see how it works. That's what I've done before. It's pretty good. Blessings, Travis. What's your top 3 recommended return pumps for a 250 gallon tank? Well, if you guys know, if you've been here for a while, the return pumps that I've used successfully in all my tanks are the Jabos. And I would say for a 200 to 250 gallon, you would want nothing. Well, I don't know what equipment you have. So let's just say you have standard equipment like the sump and a reactor, right? So let's just say that's what you have now. The DC 6,000 would be the minimum. Okay. I think that's up to 1,200 gallons per hour. But I would say for a tank that size and possible upgrades for equipment, maybe you want to put a calcium reactor on it, maybe you want a UV sterilizer, yada, yada, yada. I would say go with the DC 18,000 just because that's going to give you plenty of headroom, and it will compensate for some with the head pressure, with the plumbing and all that kind of stuff. So best thing to do with these return pumps is, as you guys know, the inputs and outputs of these return pumps are pretty massive. I think they're like 1.5 inches, something like that. So make sure you slowly dial it down to your 1 inch or whatever. You don't want to go from 1.5 inches to like 1/4 or to 1/2 inch or something, because you're gonna lose so much head pressure just right there at the pump. So keep that in mind. But I only have those 2 there. Of course, you can go bigger. Yeah. Jabos have been pretty good for me. I know that Apex also makes a return pump that I've heard good things about. Never used it, but let me grab a drink of water here. But they're pretty good too. What's up, Mark? Let me get a drink here. Losing my voice. Yeah, this homegirl has a sinus infection, so I'm just waiting for that to kick in. Ugh. And I went back to the gym today, so sweaty man juice all over me. And sure enough, the first round I had this morning smashed my face, crushed my ear. So now my ear is swollen, all the shit, throbbing, which is pretty normal for me. My right ear is super sensitive. And then the whole right side of my face is just like rash. I was just like, whatever. Okay, welcome back, right? But yeah, what's up here? Can you explain how to keep up alkalinity? All right, well, clear my throat for this one. Okay, so if you're new and you're trying to figure out how to keep your alkalinity elevated because it's being consumed with coral growth or coralline algae and stuff like that in between water changes. So the primary easiest way, if you're just starting out and you have a low demand tank, would be water changes. So the salt that you have has usually a certain level of alkalinity. Now, depending on the salt you have, you can get higher levels or lower levels. Just depends on what you want. Either way, weekly or biweekly water changes of 5 to 10%, up to 20%, depending on the demand, is a good way to keep your alkalinity stable. If you have more of a high demand tank, you can work your way over to Kalkwasser, which you can put in your ATO. There's a whole bunch of videos on that stuff. Basically, you're going to be supplying calcium alkalinity to the tank through your auto top-off system, or you can do a reactor with that, like I have on the 300, and that will allow your alkalinity to stay stable. And now, if you want to go from there, I recommend for most people to, if you're just dabbling into alkalinity and calcium, is to go to 2-part, because you just dose equal parts of both, and be consistent with that. It's easy to dial in and out with your demand with the dosing pumps or manually, whatever your demand is. But yeah, so if you want to go beyond that, you can use something called a calcium reactor, which then uses CO2 to break down once we're living corals into the calcium alkalinity to then be dripped into your tank. So there's a lot there. I'd say if you're new, water changes is your best bet. Can be expensive over time, but then you can transition over to 2-part, which is also pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's a bunch of kits online, and it's really easy to use. So Yep. How far from the PA New York border? Might be interested in Lowboy, maybe frag, maybe a frag. Okay, so how's it go north? So Scranton is the border, right? Just past Scranton, right? It depends on what New York. I mean, I don't know what New York like like New Jersey type of New York or upstate New York. What New York are you talking about? Go ahead and answer that now, because then I can tell you. Because it's going to be different. You're looking at 2 hours one way and like 3 hours the other way, so even more. So, um, yeah, it just depends on what. It's essentially the same New York, but what side? What side of the state here? New Jersey type of New York. Okay, so that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that, depending. So it's not too bad. But yeah, I would. If somebody's interested in low boys, let me know, because I got to make some changes. I gotta for 3D printing, anyways. Is it normal to have a big difference between phosphates Hannah and phosphorus Hannah checker? Do you? Oh, 1 second. I got this shit out. Woo! And do you 3D print something for a phosphorus checker? Okay, so the Hannahs, yes, I have. I gotta do a video on it, but I do offer a universal Hannah checker holder. But then if you go on to under Hannah on the website, you can see all the different types that are there. But yeah, I have plenty of stuff for Hannah. No, I don't test phosphorus in my tank. I don't think I've ever tested phosphorus. And I don't necessarily know the reason why you would. I imagine I read it a while ago and why I decided to go to phosphate, but I've never tested phosphorus, at least not that I know of, that I can remember, to be honest with you. So, so I can't really give you an answer on what's the difference between the levels there. I can't. I just know that I focus on phosphates and I focus on nitrates, and I use the high range for nitrates through Hannah now instead of the low range with all the extra stuff. So I can't give you an answer on the phosphorus stuff. Never did it. And yeah, if anybody has an answer for that, why they used phosphorus originally, I'm pretty sure BRS did a video on it. I want to say they did, but yeah. I hate not being able to give you answers. But yeah, I just test high range nitrates and normal phosphates, normal low range with a Hannah checker. I don't really go outside of that. Saw the camping pics. Looks like y'all had a good time. Yeah, it was pretty good. We camped on the lake. It's just me with 4 boys, bro. I'm telling you, 4 boys who love mud, running around, and they love fire. So that was just awesome. And then it it started raining at like 11 p.m. and then it rained all night and it got cold and we left early in the morning. We were going to go hiking and do all this crazy stuff, but it just rained all day, literally all damn day. But it's good. They wanted to go out. They had a good time. And my 2 youngest powerhoused, powerhoused marshmallows. Like I've never, they were chipmunk cheeked marshmallows walking around. I was like, is anybody going to throw up tonight? Like, you're just literally going to eat that much sugar and nothing bad's going to happen. I eat 2 marshmallows and I feel like I'm going to die. But yeah, so next time bring more marshmallows. But either way, they had a good time. And it was just nice. It was nice to get out. It's just been trapped in this house. So we'll do some more. Once it starts warming up a little bit, we'll go again. It's Gabe's birthday coming up. So it's his mother's today. And then mine is on Thursday on the 14th, and then his is on the 17th. So it's pretty crazy how that stuff worked out. But yeah, so we're going to do some birthday stuff for him on Thursday. We'll do like a mixed birthday ice cream cake thing for him. And he wanted to go camping, so that's kind of where that falls in. Got the 20,000. It's freaking business. What are we talking about here? Did I miss something? I don't know what we're talking about. Hey, they're pricey, but I like Ecotech Vortec pumps. Oh, you're talking about the 20,000. Oh, for the Jabo. Okay, gotcha. They're pricey, but I like the Ecotech Vortec return pumps. Couldn't recommend them enough. L2 would be great beast for 200, 250. Cool, yeah. I heard they were good too. They're good pumps as well. Again, they're a little bit pricey. It depends on what your budget is. If you're just kind of starting out and you're building your own tank, there's always, listen, I grew the 125 with really cheap LED lighting that did really well. They came out to like $89 a light. And then I upgraded the PCB boards. And basically that whole system, that whole 125 completely built costs less than my sump that I have downstairs. So, but it did really well. A lot of the stuff started dying off kind of soon, like equipment wise, but again, you get what you pay for. But if you're just kind of starting out, man, going cheaper is not a horrible idea. Coral banded shrimp worth the money. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, I don't know how to explain this. So whatever I put in my tank has to provide a purpose. Like, yes, I like things to look cool and do this, but I need something to provide some kind of benefit for the tank. If you're just walking around just looking cool, whatever, right? That's why I like tanks. That's why I like wrasses. I like, I used to like Antheus. They didn't really do anything. Kind of that's why I faded them out. But either way, utility fish is kind of my thing. Utility shrimp, utility, it's just kind of how I think of things when it comes to the reef tank. But I mean, if you like them, sure. I mean, how much are they now? I'm sure the price of them have gone up with everything else. But hey, it's your choice. Hey, Travis, what's a good method to get rid of flatworms? I have a little brown looking ones. Don't look like they bother anything, but would like to have them gone. Okay, so there's a good flatworms. There actually are like these little, I don't know if they're brown. They might be brown. I think they're more clear, but there is flatworms that are not bad for your tank. It's the ones that start eating your acros that are pretty bad, or the red ones. They're pretty bad. But so you can use something called flatworm exit. Now I'm going to tell you right now, you got to be careful with that stuff, just because you really don't understand how many flatworms you have until they all die at one time and they wipe out your entire tank. And what I mean by that is when flatworms die from this chemical, they actually explode. The chemical itself actually causes their cellular body, or the cells in their body, to kind of like explode, like just disintegrate, right? Now, when it does that, each flatworm has a little bit of toxin in them. And if you have millions of flatworms that are dying because of this, those toxins can be really bad for your tank. That's why they say to run a lot of carbon, to do a big water change, yada, yada, yada. Sometimes that doesn't even matter. If you have so many flatworms and you put that stuff in there, you will kill everything coral-wise. You will kill everything coral-wise. It's just how it is, okay? So be careful. If they're not bothering anything, like, realistically, if they're not eating your coral and they're not bothering any of your corals, get yourself a couple wrasses. The wrasses will keep them at bay. And if they're not bad, you don't have to worry about them. The wrasses will be fat and healthy and do their thing, and they'll be picking at stuff. That's what I would do if they're not bad. But if they're bad ones, then yeah, you kind of got to do something about it. And in that aspect, you need to manually remove as many as you possibly can, and then you can go ahead and treat. But just got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. Let me show this. Gabe's dick keychain for his birthday. Yeah, I will. If he needs one, yeah, let me know. Coral banded eat my cleaner shrimp. Ate your cleaner shrimp. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know they ate. Do they do that? I've never had one. Okay, so we addressed that. Usually cut through New Jersey to get to PA. Yeah, let me know, Casual. Let me know what you want to do, man. If you're interested in the tanks, and again, if anybody's interested in some of that Lobo, let me know. I'm not selling the whole thing. Like, I've had some people come at me with some big money for the whole thing. I can't get rid of the whole thing. I have to keep a piece of it, but I have to be realistic in the fact that it's not going to get any smaller. And right now, a 2-foot wide tank is not enough room. So I got to be realistic about how long I can keep it, right? So that's just the truth of it. My yellow tang kills cleaner shrimp. He's a jerk. I've never heard of that either. Like, you have a yellow tang going around. What is he, fin slapping them, or is he pecking at them? I mean, Jesus. Talking about some aggression in that tank. How's 3D printing orders coming along? They're good, man. I mean, they're rolling. Printers are going. 22 printers, 24/7. Actually, 21 because I killed one the other day. Just kind of how it is. So I got to fix that tonight or tomorrow, one of these days. But yeah, orders are going. I have 30, maybe 40 orders sitting on the floor right now, ready to go get shipped out. So they're coming along. Just takes time. Filament, it's been back ordered. I've been back ordered on Pet G for a little while now. It's slowly coming in. These are the times, unfortunately. I mean, I as a business owner, I can't begin to tell you how freaking stressful it is. Like, just the way the world is right now, and just the supply, the demand, the prices, the way people are. It's very uncomfortable. And that's an understatement. And anybody who runs a business knows what I'm talking about. So yeah. So I'm trying to figure out ways to get around it. basically. I gotta, gotta figure it out. So the phosphorus ultra low reading was more accurate than the phosphate checker. However, now there's a phosphate ultra low reading. The phosphorus method has a smaller accuracy range. Okay. And then you convert the amount to phosphorus. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you convert it over to phosphorus to phosphates. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And now that they have the new one out that's more accurate, you might as well just do the phosphate. Yep. I knew it was something like that. Thank you for answering that, by the way. Based on, okay, here's the rest of it. Based on the ratio bonds oxygen, they'll be a little based in individual tolerance and some human error. Yep. Cool. Well, I appreciate you answering that. So the coral banded is 25 per shrimp. That's not horrible. But then again, if you buy, you get like $100 worth and then they all die. Yeah, I'm telling you, livestock is a very, like right now with the way the shipping is for, how long it takes to get stuff in and just in general, buying livestock is pretty iffy. Like right now, Petco, like I haven't been able to get stuff through my wholesalers, but if I go to Petco and I request like the wrasses and stuff, I'm able to get them relatively quickly. I think these bigger chain, big box stores will do request orders, and also the deals are pretty good too, because you're essentially paying for it, so they don't charge you as much, which is pretty good. So, yeah, maybe 25 isn't horrible, but maybe you can get it cheaper. Been using the NIOS PO4 test kit. It's solid. Test it again. ICP 2. I have to do an ICP test. Thank you for reminding me, Sammy. I got to do that. I have never used the NIOS test kit for that one, anyways. He starts with antennas and then his eyes. Jesus, man, and then pokes at him until he dies. He's evil. Yeah, he's just picking apart at him. That's nuts, man. Yellow tang. I mean, does he think he's food? He has to. Man, what a way to go, right? The antennas, and then just your eyes are gone, and then you're like, oh, okay, I can't see anything, but something is killing me. God, I hope they can't process that. But yeah, so if you guys have more questions, feel free to put them in. I know there's a little bit of a delay. If not, then I can head out soon. Actually, we've been going half an hour, not too bad. Yeah, other than that, I think we're good. Unless you guys got something else going on. Marcus, do you feed your tanks krill? Never any nori. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if you're feeding krill, it looks like yeah, that makes sense. And so they already think it's food. Good call on that. No, I feed mine krill, but I run it through the meat grinder first when I make my food. So whatever I throw through there never looks like what it was originally. So it just becomes a block, a paste. Yeah, I might have to start making that and selling that locally too. We'll see. But yeah, I think we're it, guys. Unless you got any more questions, I'm gonna head out. I got some custom orders to get done. I got a bunch of stuff to pack, and I got to do that voiceover. So got to get that done, and it's already 8:30. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a good night. I'm going to get some videos out for you guys this week. If you want to again support the channel, head over, buy 3 get 1 free. Believe you only have to put 4 in the cart, and then one of them will be free. If you have any issues with that, hit me up on the website, but it should be good to go. And I think that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. All right. Peace.